and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to post my recipe video on a Tuesday and my craft video on a Friday. This is only for this week. I'm going to switch them around because Wednesday is the 4th of July and I'm going to be preparing you some hot wings and some cucumber slices. So I thought this would be a great little recipe that you might want to try for your 4th of July. Now this is not a barbecuing item. This is something that I'm going to do inside in my home, so no need to go out in the hot weather, especially if you don't even have a barbecue pit to do this with. So let's go ahead and get those ingredients listed and then we'll get to start making our hot wings. Okay, so the first ingredient I'm going to need is going to be some chicken wings, and I've got here just under 3 pounds of chicken wings. I'm going to be separating these, of course, and then I'll show you how I do that. This is going to be just enough for my husband and I, so if you need more than that, of course, get yourself double or triple the amount. I'm going to be needing some cucumbers, as I said. So I've got a couple of cucumbers here. I'm also going to do some carrot sticks, or if you choose to use some celery. I chose carrot sticks because I find that when I go get myself wings already made, I always order the carrot sticks and I don't even bother with the celery sticks. But choose what you want or do both. Now I've got a selection here of items that I'm going to be using. For my cucumbers, I'm going to be using some white vinegar. Now I don't have enough here. I should have checked, but this is a last minute thing that I decided to toss into my little video here. So I'm going to be using a little bit of apple cider vinegar as well. But really what you need is just some white vinegar, just plain white vinegar. I'm going to be using some white sugar for that and some water for that as well. For my chicken, I'm going to season it. You can season it any way you want. I've got salt, pepper, garlic powder. I've got this chicken seasoning here. It's got a little bit of a spice to it. And then, of course, I am going to be making a little sauce where I can roll them all in. So I've got 3 choices of hot sauces, but I'm going to mix them all up. The first thing I have is a can of tomato sauce. So that's going to be my base. And then I'm going to use some of this Valentina. Is that what it is? Yes, Valentina hot sauce. I'm going to use Tabasco. You can use like a Louisiana hot sauce if you will. And then I've got this red hot sauce from Frank's. Okay, so that's what I'm going to use. I may pull out some other seasonings. I'm not sure at this point, but this is basically what I'm going to do. It's going to be very simple. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these up. So let's get to that. Actually, what I want to do is I want to first cut up my cucumbers and prepare them in my vinegar and water, because that's going to have to go in the refrigerator for about an hour. Well, at least an hour. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to doing that first. All right, so I've already gone ahead and I've peeled and sliced up one of my cucumbers. I feel like this is a lot, but I'm going to go ahead and do the second one because this is really good and I love snacking on these. So I'm going to cut this cucumber in half because it's pretty long. And then I'm just going to use my peeler to start peeling off the outer skin. You don't have to do that, but I feel like it's a little bit nicer to bite into them when you do take off this peel. There's nothing wrong with it. You can eat that. Okay, so just peel that off. And it doesn't even have to be perfect. And then just cut them thin. Slice them as thin as you can. You can see that. That's about how thin mine are. Okay, I'm going to finish slicing up the rest of this cucumber, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut up my chicken and get it to boiling. Okay, so I've already sliced up all of my cucumber, and I'm going to put them in this little pan here. Just get them in there nice and spread out. If you can put them in a bigger pan and spread them out a little bit more, that would be nicer. That's what I have available to clean right now. I just sneak a couple of those cucumbers into my mouth. Okay. Here I've got a cup of water and what I wish was a cup of white vinegar, but I barely have half of that, but I'm going to put that right in there. I'm going to add half a cup of sugar to that, and I want to stir that up really well. Let me get a little spoon and get that sugar to dissolve. And get another spoon to taste. That's why you want the hot water, so it dissolves the sugar. Okay, let me taste this. I'm going to put about a 1/4 cup more of sugar in there. And I'm going to go ahead and pour about a 1/4 cup of this cider vinegar, because this vinegar is real nice and tasty in there. I might put a little bit extra. Let me get another clean spoon. No, that one's not. I was going to rinse that. I didn't have time. Actually, that is really good. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the 1/2 cup of this apple cider vinegar. So I'm going to pour another 1/4 cup of the apple cider vinegar in there. And I'm going to pour this all over my cucumbers. Now this would be ideal with some little grape tomatoes, those little cherry tomatoes or little grape tomatoes. Cut them in half and throw them in there as well. And what you want is for this vinegary water to cover up all of your cucumbers. You want to make sure they're all immersed in there. So that's why I was saying, if you have a bigger pan, depending on how much cucumber you're making actually, or how much cucumber and tomato you're making, you want to make this. You might want to have to double up also on your water and sugar, etc. I think that was enough sugar. I had a recipe before that I read, and I did a cup of vinegar, a cup of water, and a cup of sugar, but I felt like it was a little too sweet, so I went ahead and I cut that down by just what did I do? About a 1/4 cup. So that wasn't really much of a difference, but it is enough for this. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator, and now I need to go ahead and get started on my chicken. All right, what I'm doing now is I'm cutting up my little chicken wings, and I'm just using a nice sharp knife. Let me show you what I'm doing. I'm cutting off this little piece off of them first. So I take my wing, because it's a whole wing like that. Now it'd probably be best if you just bought them already cut up. You got the little drumette and this little wing part separately, and this part is not even there. But I didn't want to pay the extra, so I thought, well, I'm just going to cut them myself. So I'm just cutting off this piece first, and then I start here where this skin part is. Make my way down and cut right in there, and I can feel the little bone. Otherwise you might have to just pop it a little bit, and that'll cut it for you. I'm going to put these in this big bowl, I should say, for now, and I'm just going to continue cutting the rest of these. Make sure you're using a nice sharp knife. All right, so I've got all my chicken and some water here in a little pot here. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the stove and let it boil and cook for about 20 minutes. I'm not going to put any salt into it. You can put some salt if you would like that in your water. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to be seasoning it with some things, and some of these hot sauces contain a lot of salt already in them, so I'm not going to add it in. And it's really not needed because we're just going to probably toss that water out, or maybe I'll keep it because it'll make a nice chicken broth. All right, so now I have my carrots. So meanwhile my chicken is boiling up and cooking, I'm going to just cut the ends of my carrots. Sorry, this is really noisy. I just scrub them really good and wash them up. So I don't really do any peeling, but if you want to peel them, go ahead and take your peeler and go ahead and do that. Just like so. I actually like the skin the way it is. As long as it's clean, it's all good. Just like an apple. Wash it up. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and peel all of these, and then I'll be back and slicing them. Alright, so what I've been doing is I've actually been cutting my carrots in half, and then in half again, like so. It makes it a whole lot easier to cut them into little sticks that way for me. They don't move around so much. And then just take these halves and cut them up into whatever size you want your carrot sticks to be. And of course you want to serve those with some dressing, and the best thing to serve with some dressing, like with the hot wings, would be like a blue cheese dressing. I didn't get any, but I do have some ranch dressing, then that's what I'm going to use as my dip. Okay, I've got my tomato sauce, and I've gone ahead and I've opened up my little can, and I'm going to pour it into this 2-cup container. You can use any bowl to do that. I'm just using that. I had it already out, so why not? To my tomato sauce, I'm actually going to put some pepper. Add lots of it, as much as you want. I'm actually going to add some garlic powder to that as well. I'm not going to put any salt in it because I feel like all these hot sauces have plenty of salt in them. So it just depends on what you want to do. I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of this Valentina. I'm going to use this Frank's red hot sauce as well. Let's see, about, I don't know, 15-20 drops. And some Tabasco sauce. I may put more of that Frank's, I don't know. I'm going to check it for heat. And about, I don't know, 10 shakes of the Tabasco sauce. Stir that around. I'm going to give it a taste. If I feel like it needs a little bit of salt, I'll go ahead and add that. But I didn't want to add it yet till I tasted it. Alrighty. My chicken is almost done. I've been giving it 20 minutes. It needs more hot sauce. So I'm going to go ahead and put more of this Frank's hot sauce in there. Get lots of it in there. And I'm not going to put any salt because I feel like this is going to have enough. As you saw, quite a bit of it in there. I haven't had this brand of hot sauce before, so I wasn't sure if I was gonna like the heat. This is a cayenne pepper sauce. Now, one thing you could put on your wings after you've boiled them, you could season them with some of that lemon pepper. That would be a nice, delicious flavor. You could make a honey and lemon, a little bit of in a little bowl and also drizzle that over them, or maybe even pineapple and honey or pineapple and lemon. You know, be creative with your little sauces, what you coat your wings with. Let me get myself a, let me wipe this here. I got a little corn. This is for myself and my husband, so you know. Is this Frank's hot sauce just not hot enough for me? I guess not. I'm going to add some Tabasco sauce to that. Some more Tabasco. I think this will be fine. That's enough. I've almost added like a third of the bottle. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get my chicken out of my little pot. And I'm going to add some little potatoes that I've cut up into the chicken broth and cook those up. So let me go ahead and get my chicken and I will be right back. All right, I want half of my wings to have this hot sauce that I've mixed here in my little cup, and I want half of them to just have some regular seasonings, including this kickin' chicken, which, by the way, I did go ahead and sprinkle some of that into my hot sauce just to give it some extra flavor to that. But I'm going to take a piece of foil, or you can take 2, and I'm going to put this in half of my pan and lift it up like so, just to kind of create like a little barrier between the 2 chickens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour half and half. So I'm just pulling them out so I can do a drumette and the little wing, you know, even amounts back and forth. All right, so to the chicken wings that I have on my right side here, or your left, I am adding this hot sauce onto them. And I should say that I did have my oven preheated at 375 degrees. I don't know if I mentioned that. But anyway, I'm pouring this onto that, which I have divided into the foil. And I'm just going to turn them around, make sure all the sides get coated. I'm just going to go ahead and pour all that in because that is goodness everywhere. Look at that. Okay, so now I'm going to season these with the pepper. Get some lots of pepper on them. Get some salt on them. And I'm also going to kind of toss these around a little bit. So let me get this garlic powder on them. And this chicken, I got this from, I believe it was Sam's, where I purchased this from. There you go, so you can see what that is. This is the Weber brand. I guess a Weber brand of grills. Okay, so I got another spoon here. I'm just gonna toss these around a little bit. And probably add some more seasoning. No more salt, but I am gonna add more of this seasoning. Get them nice and coated, lots of flavor on them. A little more garlic powder. Just flavor them as you wish. Super easy. You're gonna boil them for about 20 minutes, just till they're well and cooked, depending on how many you're cooking actually. And you know, if you're gonna do this, double my recipe or triple it, then you might wanna boil them a little longer and of course put them in a bigger pot. But you know, I think that they'll be fine if you use a bigger pot, about 20-30 minutes, just till they're well cooked. And now we're just gonna toss them into the oven and let them just kind of absorb these flavors that I've now put into them, and let that kind of, you know, kind of cook onto each wing. And then we're going to enjoy them. So let me go ahead and put this in the oven, and then we'll be back to enjoy. But I want you to take a good look at them right now that I've just seasoned them. All right, everyone, so here are my chicken wings. I had them in the oven for about 15 minutes, and I'll just let them bake for a little bit. These are done and they're ready to serve. I've got a platter here that I'm going to go ahead and place them on and make them look all nice and pretty. Here we go, just like that. And line them up. My cucumbers are also done. I wanted to show you that up close, what one of them looks like. Oops, right in the camera right there. Okay, let's continue serving these on a platter, and then we're gonna go ahead and put this on a little plate and give it a little taste. My carrots have been sliced, as you can see, and I've also got my little potatoes. All I did was add some mayonnaise, a little bit of pepper, and some garlic powder to those. Let's get these wings on this platter, make it look really pretty. Starting off with these so that I don't get that hot sauce all over these. There we go. And then my wings. Try not to splatter any on myself. And then I'm going to place those cucumbers right in the middle for a really pretty presentation. Just like that. Let's get some of these cucumbers out of here. Right onto our platter. We want to get some of those carrot sticks as well. Okay, let me bring this up to you so that you can see what this platter is looking like. This is ready to be served, so let's give it a little taste. Here we go, everyone. I've got a little, one of each of these little drumsticks, little hot wings on my plate. I'm going to taste this with the kickin' chicken spices first. Mmm. On your napkin. So delicious. I'm going to cleanse my palate with one of these little cucumbers. Now the hot wing. Perfect. I could probably use a little bit more heat. Well, anyway, I hope that you enjoyed my recipe and that you will enjoy it as well for your 4th of July. Happy 4th of July to everyone. I'm going to give myself a big old thumbs up. I hope that you will too. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. I make videos every Tuesday and Friday. Gotta swallow that down. Make sure you leave a nice comment down below and share on your social medias. And as always, enjoy.